Hello, welcome to HunterBBQ channel. Today we're talking about the new Airforce explanation. What is the best Airforce you should get? Let's get into it. Okay, welcome back. So today the new Airforce explanation is the list. The video have a part 1 and part 2. And furthermore, let's get to the list. The first one is Airforce 2 new officer on the 3.01. And let's get to the information. Here's the information that are gathered. The link on the below you can see is the official Lilith website. Say that there will be 2 new Airforce officer will go online with 3.01 updates. I'm not sure how the things is true or not, but it's what they say. So we should be careful. If you want to max out any officer by now with all your statue, you have to be very careful of that. Maybe you want to wait for it or maybe not. So the list of number 2 is the fighter and the bomber explained. So let's get to the details of the Airforce. So this is the bomber. So you can see that I already put a rank. Number 1 is the red one. Number 2, the vanguard, and the number 3 is supposed to be the deputy, the blue one. So what is so different of them? So I have to do some explanation to get you understanding how they get their rank and why they become having their rank to be some better and some worse. So let's talk from the left to the right. So from the left one we have the blue one, the bomber. If you can see the yellow box here, this one is the very important information that we should always careful about, because each of the groups that we have in our group, they have a train of personnel, and from the blue one on the Airforce, basically he needs 12 personnel for the group, and the max of all of the barrack, let's say the Airforce is using the hangar, he only can get is the max is 8 Airforce. So that is one of the things that you have to worry about it, because others 2 Airforce you can get 12 and 12. So after the calculation and the max, I already calculate 12 times the power 5 power, and then this is the total and other totals as well made up. So all of them already calculate. This one is based on 8 on the left, blue on the middle one, and the red one also based on 12. Calculate their 5 power and get their total. So you can see the middle one, the vanguard ones having the highest one. So by 5 power, you should always understanding how they calculate. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about. So the speed and the stability, actually 3 of them is same. So there's a green one. So nothing to talk about that, because you can't compare since 3 of them is same. So the most difference is how they deploy and how they attack. I mean their functions on their airplane, because this aircraft they have 3 different airborne. Like the blue one, actually area is a AOE attack. You can see on the side here, it's mentioned that actually is AOE. The middle ones is one target AOE. Basically it means that he will attack the whole group on that crate instead of attack others, but whatever in that grid, let's say there is like 12 troop inside a group, or maybe there is 3 super heavy, just that only, they will attack all of them. So the last one, the red one, is only attack one target based on how many aircraft you have. Let's say you have 12, so you will fire 12 attack. But if you have 3, then you only attack 3. That's the calculation on how they have their differences of their function and their boom attacking. But besides that, all 3 of them have their special boost. So from the blue one, we have a structure. You can see a structure boost. So from the middle one, vanguard, we have a personnel and vehicle is 125%. So the last one is the red one, the bomber, have 200% on the vehicle. So this is 3 of them is the most different, and also is how they get their rank. So let me do some explanation on what actually is the meaning of 1.6, 2.5, 2.25, and then 3. Basically, is their bonuses on attack the vehicle on the red one. If anytime you try to attack a vehicle, let's say you attack a super heavy tank, tank hunter, medium tank, or the light tank, all of your damage from this 5 million attack power will convert to become 3 times and kill the target. That is how they get the boost and why the red bomber get the first place, because of the special skill of the boost, and that's how he get it. Because anytime you hit a vehicle, then you will get the bonus of times 3 on your current firepower. That's the things that. And the best thing is the red bomber actually is chasing on the target. Let's say it's a light tank, he try to move around, you chase it down. So let's do some gameplay to show you what does that mean actually. So you can see that I doesn't have the red one, but I have the blue one, and I have the vanguard one. So what I have to do is move my ground troop near the enemy, the raven, and then I will use the vanguard one. And vanguard one is the same one. The bomber also is will chase the enemy down. So let's say I do the attack, and then I try to draw the raven away. So you can see, actually my bomber is following. But if I use the blue one, the Liberty one, try to attack the raven, and I try to draw them away, actually my Liberty Airforce is still attack the same area, doesn't follow the target. So if the target already away from the area, you still attack them. The area is actually no point, it's wasted. And you try to change some area, it cannot. You have to return to the base and to stop the current attack. So it's quite time wasting. So these are how the differences. And so there is only 2 aircraft can chase and only 1 aircraft can attack the area. But the Liberty, the blue one, actually can attack non-target places. That means you want to attack this area, even though there's nothing for you to target, you also can attack there. But you have to do some predict. Let's say from my base, I want to attack someone's base. It's very far away from my base, and I have to do some prediction on whether he will move around to this area at the time that I arrive here or not. So it's very hard to use. That is the downside and the worst armor that you should get, because you can't really always predict who will move to there and who will not. And if somebody see that your airplane is coming to teach them or try to attack them, like this one, you see the first bomb, then you will just draw your troop away and attack the second one is not effective. So the blue one mainly is someone try to swarm your base, and you will use it just to defend your base. That's the main purposes I can think about. Other than that, it's very hard to use. But the gray one and the red one actually can chase the enemy down. As long as the target, they will perform their attack until the enemy is dead, or your performing of 4 bomb or 3 bombs is done, then they will back to your base. So let's get back to the list. So this is the armor. I think I did it very clear, and the ranking also very clear. So I hopefully everyone is understanding. The second things I want to talk about is some of you might think about the blue one have a lot of HP, and some other might not have. But actually the HP is not very concerned, since the Airforce can move so fast on the 80 kilometers per hour. Usually they can just run away. You have to be more careful on that. So I think the armor is very clear. Mostly people will try to use the red one, because once you max out, it's very strong. And I will do some more comparison later on. Now let's move to the other list. So the second list is the fighter jet. The fighter jet also I put some ranking there already, so for you to easy understanding. The left side is the blue one, the Liberty. The medium one is the Vanguard, and the last one is the red one. So you can see the ranking is definitely different because this fighter jet is only anti-air. That means they only attack anything on the air. Instead on the air, there's nothing much they can do. They just wash around. So I can show you what's that mean in the game. So I have Liberty Air Fighter. I can put it out. Basically, he can cover on up to 6 feet on the radius, but he will just fly there 24/7 until you want to draw them back, like uh, ask them to return. Otherwise, they can just move around the map, and you can move them around whatever places you like. Then they will stay there forever until you command them to go back, or they become killed down, become destroyed. They were going back to the base. Otherwise, they just always fly there and just fly there until the enemy on the radius. But if some enemy, let's say the enemy name is the white color, usually they don't attack. But the enemy is the red color, they will attack. So you have to be careful because sometimes you unaware the enemy already cross over. You still let them cross because it doesn't make them come out red name. That is one of the problem. So the fighter jet is only defending anything on the air. Instead of that, is nothing much they can do. So let's get back to the list to explain the fighter jet. So from the fighter jet, you can see number 1, number 2, and number 3, how they get their ranking. So you can see 3 of them have the same one personnel. After the max will be 17 plane on the air. That's the things that you can get here. Okay, so the speed is the same with the armor. Also, it's 80 km/h. So it's nothing fancy there. That means if you try to use fighter jet to chase some bomber, if they react like 3 grade or 2 grade together, once you do some attack, they will just chasing forever. They can't chase them down because the speed is the same speed. So that's one thing I want to talk about. So by the way, the fighter jet actually is not much difference from 3 of them because after the comparison, the only thing I can find is the intercept and the emulability. The most easiest to understand the term is the hit rate and the award hit rate. That means the intercept is just mainly for you to have a higher rate to kill someone and hit them on the air. Instead, you are just shooting and miss like this one. The red one have the highest award rate, try to avoid all the attack. But we have a worse attack accuracy. That means he's not very accurate, but he know how to fly away from danger. That's the thing. But actually, we didn't really care. Once they're on the air, they just do their job. We just try to focus on our ground unit. And once our ground unit is out of the ground, they have to go back. Like I show you on the PM. What's that mean? When we have our ground unit try to move from one area to the other area, we try to put our Airforce on top of them to protect them. So once we siege the enemy base, so our Airforce, I mean the fighter jet, will protect ourselves on the area. If anyone try to use the bomber to attack us, the Airforce will take them down. Because the bomber can't attack anything on air, the bomber only can attack anything on the ground. That means the fighter can be there 24/7 to shoot them down. 100% they will win because it's just a one way, it's not a two way. The bomber cannot counter our fighter jet. That's how we should always have fighter to protect. If somebody try to play the bomber, protect your ground troop, your fighter jet will take them down. But the problem is each time you move your troop, you should have a fighter to follow them, the fighter jet. So your fighter will protect anything try to come nearby. When anybody see you have fighter jet, they might deploy that fighter jet to take down your fighter jet and use some bomber to attack your ground troop. So there is a lot of new technique and new play style that you have to be more careful. So this the second list I will talk about. And then furthermore, I want to talk about is the, let me get back to this. I'll talk about is the Airbase buff. You can see I have a right down here. So basically we have our plane, either is the fighter or the bomber. We have our firepower. Actually the firepower will directly add to your AA-Firebase. So let's get to the game to show you. And this one will be on the list number 3. Yeah, the AA-Firebase and the hanger. Let me show you. So go to your base. You will see that you have a AA-Firebase. So you can see that it's 24,000. This one is the white color. That means this is the base attack from my level 1 AA firepower. Then you can see the green one plus the green one actually is the buff from my Airforce. So if you are not confirmed how it works, you can just do something like this and they will show you exactly the same thing. The first one I will show you is I will take out my Airforce. Like this one, I take this out. Once I remove one of the Airforce, you can see that the Airbase buff becomes different, become lower. So without the Airforce, your Airbase will have a less power to defense. That means your Airforce is directly affected to your Airbase defense and their power once the enemy is there or not. Second is that you have to deploy your Airforce somehow, like you want to attack someone on the field, you put them out. So once your armor is out of your base, your fire base also will be reduced. That means any Airforce inside your base will directly add it to your air fire guns. But if any Airforce that you available but it's not in your base, it's already deployed outside of your base somewhere else, then your fire base air fire gun will not have that buff. So you will just play around with it to make sure that it's work and not working. But once your airplane is out of your base, then the buff will gone as well. That's how you should always keep them when somebody try to use the Airforce to attack your base. You should always have your Airforce inside your base. The second things I want to talk about is the officer. So I do some testing of the officer. Usually this one is the 5% damage, and then the other also have 7%. So both of them are already deployed to my Airforce. You can see both of them is already in my Airforce. I already tested it's not affected to the air firebase, so the buff is not there. That means only the Airforce itself will benefit from the skill, but if not, the base will not get the skill. So you have to sometimes think about whether you want to put your Airforce out. If somebody try to use the armor, maybe you just put your Airforce out. It's better than keep your Airforce inside your base, because the officer skill that you have, Wing of Glory, once you shoot down enemy for each 20 seconds, you can step up to 5 times and 15% extra firepower gain. Is instead of better than just put them inside your base to gain the air firepower. But if somebody try to use Airforce the fighter on your base, you should always get them inside, because fighter only can kill fighter. If they use fighter, you put back to your base, their fighter just fire around your base, you will just shoot them down, they can't attack you. If they use the bomber, you should put your Airforce out, the fighter out to shoot their bomber, so their bomber can't attack your fighter, their bomber have to retreat. So this is one of the tricks that you should always aware. The second one is the hanger, that you should always aware the level is matter, because all of the Airforce will be messed up with their personnel, but you have to aware that 32 level you will have an extra 15% firepower. That's very much very important. So you should max 3 of them. But remember, before you max them out, you should always max out your air fire base first, just to gain the ground defense. at least you should have 30 level, extra 1 grade, so your artillery can counter anyone using the 5 grade. So the best of course is the 32 levels to max out. So this is the first part I'm going to talk about. Okay, thanks for watching the first part. See you guys on the second part.